Have you ever felt drained after a conversation with someone? Have you walked away from an interaction questioning your worth or sanity? Toxic people can have a profound impact on our mental and emotional well-being, often leaving us feeling trapped in a whirlwind of negativity. They are the emotional parasites of life, subtly, or sometimes overtly, sowing seeds of doubt, manipulation, and chaos. But what if you could free yourself from their grip? What if there were a way to regain control over your peace and thrive despite their presence? The key lies not in changing them, but in changing how you interact with and respond to their behavior. In this journey, we will explore 9 powerful ways to deal with toxic people, equipping you with the tools to protect your energy, maintain your peace, and ultimately grow into a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. Stay with us until the end, for the final strategy isn't just a tactic, it's a philosophy that can transform how you navigate life's challenges. Now let's begin by learning how to recognize toxicity early, before it takes root. 1. Recognize the toxicity early. How often do we dismiss those early warning signs? A sarcastic comment, a subtle put-down, or that strange feeling in your gut? These moments whisper to us, hinting at deeper issues beneath the surface. Yet we often choose to ignore them, either out of politeness, hope, or denial. But ignoring the storm clouds doesn't stop the storm. Toxic people rarely reveal their true nature immediately. Like wolves in sheep's clothing, they may initially appear charming, supportive, or even selfless. Over time, however, patterns begin to emerge. Have you ever noticed someone constantly criticizing you under the guise of helping? Or perhaps they twist every situation to revolve around their needs and problems? These are not random acts, they are the early signs of a toxic presence. But why is recognizing these signs so crucial? The earlier you identify toxic behavior, the less power it has to entrench itself in your life. Think of it as a weed in a garden. If spotted early, it can be plucked with ease. If ignored, its roots grow deeper, eventually threatening to choke out everything else. Ask yourself, how does this person make me feel after spending time with them? If you consistently feel anxious, drained, or even questioning your sense of self, it's time to take a closer look. Stoicism teaches us to trust in rational observation, to separate emotion from fact. By observing someone's behavior without attachment, you gain clarity. Are their actions consistently undermining your peace? Recognizing toxicity is not an act of judgment, but of self-preservation. It's about taking control of your emotional landscape before someone else does. In the words of Epictetus, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The sooner you see the signs, the sooner you can act. But recognition alone is not enough. Once you've identified toxic behavior, the next crucial step is to set boundaries, firm, clear, and unshakable. How do you create these invisible walls to protect your peace? Let's explore this in the next section. 2. Set and enforce boundaries. Once you've recognized the presence of a toxic individual, the next question arises, how do you protect yourself? The answer lies in boundaries, those invisible walls that preserve your peace and safeguard your energy. But boundaries are not merely about keeping others out. They are about defining what you will and will not accept in your life. Toxic people thrive on overstepping limits. They push, prod, and manipulate, testing how far they can go. Have you ever found yourself reluctantly agreeing to something you didn't want to do just to avoid confrontation? Or maybe you've let a hurtful comment slide because addressing it felt too exhausting. These are moments when boundaries are either absent or weak. Stoicism teaches us the importance of self-discipline and rational control over our responses. In this light, setting boundaries becomes an exercise in virtue. It's about asserting control over your life and refusing to be a passive participant in someone else's chaos. A clear boundary sends a powerful message. This is where I end, and you begin. How do you set these boundaries? Start by defining what behaviors are unacceptable to you. Is it constant criticism? Unwarranted demands on your time? Manipulative guilt-tripping? Once you've identified the behaviors, communicate your boundaries calmly but firmly. There's no need for anger or elaborate explanations. Simply state your limit and what will happen if it's crossed. For instance, if someone frequently criticizes you, a boundary might sound like, I value constructive feedback, but constant criticism is not helpful. If it continues, I will need to step away from our conversations. Notice how this statement is direct yet respectful, focusing on your response rather than their behavior. But here's the challenge. Enforcing boundaries often invites resistance. Toxic individuals may react with anger, guilt, or even more manipulation. They might accuse you of being selfish or unreasonable. In these moments, remember this: their reaction is not your responsibility. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Standing firm in the face of pushback is difficult but necessary. Boundaries are not about controlling others. They are about controlling your participation in harmful dynamics. The more consistently you enforce your boundaries, the more others will learn to respect them or reveal their unwillingness to change. Now, a quick reflection. What boundaries have you set in your life? Are there areas where you've allowed others to cross lines because of fear or guilt? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let this be a space where we learn from each other's experiences. And if you're finding this discussion helpful, don't forget to like the video. It helps us reach more people seeking peace and growth. With boundaries in place, you create a protective buffer against toxicity. But what if avoiding the toxic person altogether isn't an option? In the next section, we'll explore how to limit exposure while maintaining your peace. 3. Limit exposure to toxic individuals. What if the toxic person in your life cannot be completely avoided? Perhaps they are a family member, a colleague, or someone you encounter regularly. In such cases, the key is not total avoidance, but strategic limitation of your exposure to them. How do you engage just enough to fulfill your obligations without allowing their negativity to seep into your well-being? Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control. While you may not be able to change or remove the toxic person from your environment, you can control how much time, energy, and emotional bandwidth you give them. This practice is an exercise in both wisdom and prudence. First, consider your physical and emotional distance. If you work with a toxic individual, can you reduce one-on-one interactions? Perhaps you can communicate through emails or delegate tasks involving them to others. If they're a family member, can you limit the duration of your visits or find ways to engage with them in group settings rather than one-on-one? These small adjustments can significantly reduce the opportunities for their negativity to affect you. But limiting exposure isn't just about the amount of time spent, it's also about the quality of that time. When you do interact, keep the conversations neutral and avoid diving into topics that tend to trigger drama or conflict. Toxic people often look for openings to stir tension, so maintaining a surface-level engagement can help you avoid getting drawn into their emotional whirlpool. Another powerful tool is mental distancing. Even if you're physically present, you can detach emotionally. View your interactions with the toxic person as if you were an impartial observer. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? How can I maintain my composure and integrity despite their behavior? This mindset helps you stay grounded and prevents their negativity from affecting your internal state. It's also helpful to prepare in advance for interactions. If you know you'll be seeing a toxic person, take a moment to center yourself. Reflect on the Stoic principle that while you cannot control their behavior, you can control your response. This preparation acts as a mental armor, allowing you to navigate the encounter with calmness and clarity. Limiting exposure is not about avoidance or fear, it's about preservation. You have a finite amount of energy each day, and it should be spent on pursuits and people that uplift you, not drain you. Ask yourself, are you being mindful of where your energy flows? Are there interactions in your life that could be minimized for the sake of your peace? As you reflect on these questions, feel free to share your experiences in the comments. How have you managed to limit exposure to toxic individuals in your life? If you're finding value in these strategies, give this video a like. It helps support the community and spread the message of resilience and Stoic wisdom. Next, we'll dive into one of the most effective ways to neutralize the power of toxic individuals, refusing to engage in their drama. Stay with us as we explore how calm detachment can be your greatest defense. 4. Avoid engagement in their drama. Drama is the lifeblood of toxic individuals. They thrive on chaos, conflict, and the emotional reactions of those around them. Their goal is often to pull you into their storm, feeding on the energy that your frustration, anger, or anxiety provides. But what happens if you refuse to engage? What if, instead of being swept into their emotional turbulence, you remain anchored in calm detachment? Stoicism emphasizes the importance of mastering our internal responses, regardless of external provocations. As Marcus Aurelius said, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. In dealing with toxic people, this principle becomes invaluable. Toxic individuals often test your limits by creating drama, be it through petty arguments, playing the victim, or escalating minor disagreements into full-blown conflicts. The instinctive reaction might be to defend yourself, correct them, or even retaliate. But this is precisely what they want. Engaging with their antics validates their behavior and gives them control over your emotions. The way to disarm them is simple. Don't play their game. When they attempt to provoke you, respond with calm neutrality. If they bring up past grievances, redirect the conversation or choose silence. If they accuse or criticize you unjustly, consider responding with a simple, "I see," or "You're entitled to your opinion." These neutral responses signal that you will not be emotionally manipulated or drawn into their chaos. But how do you maintain this calm when provoked? The Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, or anticipating potential challenges, can help. Before encountering a known toxic individual, take a moment to anticipate possible provocations. Visualize yourself responding with calm detachment. By mentally preparing for their behavior, you reduce the likelihood of being caught off guard. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you refuse to let their actions dictate your emotional state. It's about maintaining your internal peace despite external provocations. Toxic individuals may continue their attempts to provoke you, but over time, they will find less satisfaction when their efforts yield no reaction. Now, reflect. How often do you find yourself getting pulled into unnecessary drama? What would happen if you responded with indifference instead of emotion? Try it in your next interaction and observe the shift in dynamics. Up next, we'll discuss a crucial mindset shift, not taking their behavior personally. This perspective can free you from the weight of their words and actions, allowing you to stand tall in your truth. 5. Don't take their behavior personally. Toxic individuals have a remarkable talent for making everything about you, your faults, your shortcomings, your supposed failures. They project their insecurities and pain onto others, often leaving you questioning, "Am I really the problem?" But here's the truth. Their behavior is a reflection of their inner turmoil, not your worth. One of the most liberating realizations in life is this: you are not responsible for the emotions or actions of others. As Epictetus wisely observed, it's not what happens to you, but how you interpret it that makes all the difference. Toxic people often lash out not because of who you are, but because of unresolved issues within themselves. When you recognize this, their behavior loses its sting. Let's reflect on a common scenario. Imagine someone constantly belittling your achievements or finding faults in everything you do. It's easy to internalize their criticism, to feel as though you're not enough. But ask yourself, what motivates their behavior? Is it possible that their words stem from envy, insecurity, or their own unmet expectations? Understanding this dynamic helps you separate their toxicity from your self-worth. Not taking their behavior personally requires a shift in mindset. Start by questioning the narrative you've built around their actions. Are you assuming responsibility for their unhappiness? Are you letting their words dictate how you see yourself? The Stoic approach encourages us to challenge these assumptions and remain grounded in our own sense of value. This detachment is not about dismissing all feedback or criticism. It's about discerning which feedback serves your growth and which is meant to harm. Constructive criticism, even when uncomfortable, helps us improve. Toxic criticism, on the other hand, is designed to undermine and control. Learning to distinguish between the two is a powerful act of self-respect. When toxic individuals blame you for their problems or try to make you feel inadequate, remind yourself, their behavior is not about me. Repeat it like a mantra when their words start to sting. Over time, this practice builds resilience, allowing you to interact with such individuals without compromising your peace. Think about the people in your life whose words have affected you. Have you been carrying unnecessary burdens because of their projections? Share your reflections in the comments. What has helped you detach from toxic criticism? And if this perspective resonates with you, give the video a like. It's a simple way to let us know we're on the right path together. Now that we've explored how to protect your self-worth by not taking toxic behavior personally, let's dive deeper into an advanced skill: emotional detachment. In the next section, we'll discuss how to master your emotions and remain calm in the face of provocation. Stay tuned as we continue this empowering journey. 6. Practice emotional detachment. Imagine standing in the eye of a storm where chaos swirls all around, yet you remain untouched. This is the power of emotional detachment, a skill that allows you to maintain your calm and composure even in the presence of toxic individuals. But how do we cultivate this inner stillness when everything around us seems designed to provoke? Stoicism teaches us that our emotions, though natural, are within our control. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Emotional detachment is not about becoming cold or indifferent. It's about refusing to let external circumstances dictate your internal state. Toxic individuals often prey on emotional responses. They thrive on the power they feel when they can provoke anger, sadness, or frustration. Every outburst, every emotional reaction feeds their need for control. But when you master emotional detachment, you deprive them of this power. You become unshakable, like a rock amidst turbulent waves. How can you practice emotional detachment? Begin by observing your reactions. The next time a toxic person tries to provoke you, pause, take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this worth my peace? Recognize the bait and consciously choose not to take it. Instead of reacting impulsively, respond with calm, measured words, or choose silence. Often, silence is the most powerful response, as it leaves no room for further manipulation. Another effective technique is reframing the situation. View the toxic individual not as an enemy, but as a teacher. What can you learn from their behavior? Perhaps they're offering you an opportunity to practice patience, resilience, or self-control. Shifting your perspective in this way can turn a negative encounter into a moment of personal growth. Visualization is also a valuable tool. Before engaging with a known toxic person, visualize yourself as an observer in the situation. Imagine their words and actions bouncing off an invisible shield around you. This mental exercise prepares you to remain detached and unaffected. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring about people. It means you care about your well-being enough to not let others dictate your emotions. It's about drawing a clear line between empathy and emotional enmeshment. You can acknowledge someone's pain or frustration without taking it upon yourself. Reflect for a moment. How often do you let others pull you into their emotional turbulence? What would change if you approach these interactions with calm detachment? With emotional detachment in your arsenal, you'll find yourself better equipped to handle life's challenges. But resilience doesn't flourish in isolation. In the next section, we'll explore the power of surrounding yourself with positive, supportive people who uplift and inspire you. Stay with us as we continue to cultivate a life of strength and serenity. 7. Surround yourself with positive people. In the company of others, we often mirror the energies and attitudes around us. If toxic individuals drain and deplete us, then positive people do the opposite. They uplift, energize, and restore. To counteract the effects of toxicity, it's crucial to cultivate a circle of supportive and uplifting individuals who remind you of your worth and potential. Stoicism teaches us to be mindful of our associations, for the people we surround ourselves with can influence our character and mindset. Seneca once wrote, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you. Who in your life brings out your best self? Who listens without judgment, encourages your growth, and celebrates your successes without envy?" Positive people are like sunlight in a dark room. They offer perspective when things seem bleak and provide strength when your own reserves run low. Whether it's a trusted friend, a family member, or a mentor, these relationships serve as anchors, helping you remain grounded amidst life's turbulence. How do you build and nurture this supportive network? First, be intentional about the relationships you invest in. Seek out individuals who share your values, who inspire you to grow, and who practice kindness and empathy. These are the people who will stand by you not just in moments of joy, but also in times of challenge. It's equally important to invest in these relationships. Gratitude and reciprocity are the cornerstones of healthy connections. Make time for the people who matter. Express appreciation for their presence in your life and offer your support in return. Building a strong support system isn't a passive act. It's a mutual exchange of care and respect. But what if your current environment feels isolating or you struggle to find these positive influences? Start by broadening your horizons. Join communities, clubs, or groups where people with shared interests gather. Online platforms can also be a great resource for finding like-minded individuals who value growth and positivity. When you prioritize positive connections, you naturally create less space for toxic individuals. Imagine your life as a garden. The more you nurture vibrant flowers, the less room there is for weeds. Ask yourself, are you tending to the right relationships? Are there positive people in your life you could reconnect with or appreciate more deeply? Reflect on this and share your thoughts in the comments. Who in your life has been a source of positivity and support? Let us know how they've impacted you. And if you're finding value in these insights, give this video a like. Every like helps us spread this message of resilience and stoic wisdom to more people seeking light in their own lives. Next, we'll explore one of the most challenging but liberating steps, knowing when to walk away. Sometimes, the most powerful act of self-love is to let go. Stay with us as we navigate this essential strategy. 8. Be prepared to walk away. There comes a time in life when the most courageous and necessary act is to walk away. Whether it's a toxic friendship, a draining relationship, or even a hostile work environment, knowing when to let go is vital for your mental and emotional well-being. But why is walking away so difficult? Why do we often hold on to relationships and situations that cause us harm? Stoicism reminds us of the impermanence of all things. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Everything is ephemeral, both that which remembers and that which is remembered." Holding on too tightly to people or circumstances that no longer serve us is like clinging to a branch on a riverbank while the current of life urges us forward. Walking away is not a failure, it is an acknowledgement of life's natural flow. Toxic individuals often make you feel indispensable to their lives. They may guilt you into staying, promising change that never comes, or manipulating your sense of loyalty. But ask yourself, are you staying because of genuine connection or because of fear, obligation, or habit? Are you sacrificing your peace to maintain a bond that only drains you? Walking away is not about giving up on people lightly. It's about recognizing when a relationship or situation has reached a point where it consistently harms your well-being. It's about choosing self-respect over endless attempts to fix what's broken. You cannot heal someone who refuses to acknowledge their wounds, nor can you grow in an environment that stifles your spirit. But how do you prepare for this step? Start by reflecting on the cost of staying. Is the energy you're investing being reciprocated, or is it being absorbed without appreciation? Consider the impact on your mental health. Does this relationship uplift you, or does it leave you feeling anxious and depleted? Once you've made the decision, communicate it with clarity and compassion. You don't owe toxic individuals a lengthy explanation, but if the situation allows, expressing your reasons calmly can provide closure. Focus on your needs and boundaries, rather than blaming or accusing them. For instance, you might say, "I need to prioritize my well-being, and this relationship no longer feels healthy for me." Walking away may feel lonely at first, but it's in these moments of solitude that you rediscover your strength and independence. With time, you'll find that letting go opens space for healthier connections and opportunities. It's an act of self-preservation, a statement that your peace and growth are worth protecting. In the final section, we'll explore a transformative shift in focus, turning your attention away from toxicity and toward your own growth. This is where true empowerment lies. Stay with us as we conclude this journey with a Stoic perspective on personal evolution. 9. Focus on your growth. Toxic people have a way of dominating your thoughts, pulling your focus away from what truly matters: your growth, your peace, and your purpose. But what if you could shift your attention entirely? What if, instead of being consumed by their negativity, you turned inward, investing in your own development? This is the ultimate way to break free from their grip. Stoicism teaches that our energy is better spent on improving ourselves than on battling the flaws of others. As Epictetus wisely advised, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. When you focus on your growth, you reclaim your power. You shift from being reactive to proactive, from being defined by others' actions to defining your own path. Personal growth doesn't mean ignoring the harm toxic people have caused. It means refusing to let that harm define you. It's about learning from your experiences and using them as fuel for your journey. Every interaction, no matter how challenging, offers an opportunity for growth. Did their criticism teach you resilience? Did their manipulation sharpen your boundaries? Reflect on these lessons and use them to build a stronger, wiser self. Start by setting clear goals for your personal development. What areas of your life could benefit from more attention? Is it your physical health, emotional resilience, or perhaps your professional ambitions? By channeling your energy into these areas, you not only grow, but also create a life so fulfilling that toxicity loses its foothold. Another powerful practice is gratitude. In focusing on what you're thankful for, you naturally shift your attention away from negativity. Make it a daily habit to reflect on your achievements, the people who support you, and the progress you've made. Gratitude is a quiet but potent rebellion against the influence of toxic individuals. Surround yourself with resources that inspire and motivate you. Books, podcasts, and communities centered around Stoicism or personal growth can provide valuable insights and encouragement. As you immerse yourself in these positive influences, you'll find that the opinions and negativity of toxic people fade into insignificance. Remember, growth is a lifelong journey, not a destination. There will be moments of struggle and setbacks, but each step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. When your focus is on becoming the best version of yourself, the actions of others, no matter how toxic, lose their power over you. Now take a moment to reflect. What areas of your life are you committed to growing in? Share your aspirations in the comments. Let this be a space where we celebrate each other's growth journeys. And if this video has inspired you to focus on your own path, consider liking and sharing it. It helps us reach others who might need this message. As we conclude, remember, dealing with toxic people is not about changing them, but about empowering yourself. By recognizing toxicity, setting boundaries, and prioritizing your well-being, you can rise above their influence and create a life filled with peace, purpose, and growth. If you've found value in these strategies, don't forget to subscribe for more insights on building resilience and mastering life's challenges through Stoicism. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Stay strong, stay positive, and may you continue to grow into the best version of yourself. See you in the next video.